Hey there, you military dogs. Continuing our exploration of FMA Brotherhood, we're up to episodes 5 and 6. The episode opens on Ed having nightmares of his mother and then Nina. Then, the boys find out Shao Tucker and Nina's fate. Back in Lior, the homunculi continue to sow the seeds of mistrust and violence as we meet Envy, a shapeshifter that's taken on the role of Cornello. Hughes, Mustang and Armstrong discuss Scar and his agenda before realising that the Elricks are in danger. Meanwhile, Scar attacks Ed and Al, relentless in his assault. Mustang arrives in the nick of time.
That's enough! You won't be killing anybody else today, Scar.
Then Hawkeye arrives in the nick of time.
Hey, Hawkeye! What the hell did you do that for?
You know as well as I do, you're useless on rainy days. Please stay back.
Then Alex Armstrong arrives in the nick of time.
We'll see how you fare against the strong-arm alchemist, Alex Louis Armstrong!
The military concludes that Scar's abilities are also based in alchemy, as Armstrong faces off against him. We learn that Scar is Ishvalan, which makes sense considering how much the show has told us about the war in Ishval and the sins of the military. Al chastises Ed for not running away when he told him to do so, and the boys lament that they are not in a good way at the moment. We get some clunky but well-needed exposition on the Ishvalan people, and learn that an accidental shooting of an Ishvalan child is what led to the war. Scar references creators and destroyers. This is a very yin-yang mentality, and works within the established law of equivalent exchange. Scar can also use his ability without creating circles, which is later believed to still be alchemy. We don't know how he does it, but based on the current established rules, it indicates that Scar is also a blasphemer. Scar thinks of himself as an agent of God, and that what he does is holy work. This arrogance is reflected when he refers to the flames of blasphemy looking at Mustang.
It is fortunate that you can't create your blasphemous flames, State Alchemist.
Armstrong proves the above point when he concludes creation and destruction are two sides of the same coin.
We don't want to destroy the city, do we? What do you mean? Destruction and creation are two sides of the same coin. You must destroy to create. That is the law of the universe.
We have to strip.
Are you surprised? He's clearly insane.
Finally, the order from the Führer to exterminate an entire people is not lost on me, solidifying his historic connection with Hitler, and, despite his demeanour, that he is not a good man. Major Armstrong accompanies the Elricks on their way home to get fixed up. On their way, Armstrong sees Dr. Marco, an alchemist that went missing after the Ishvalan War. Upon finding the doctor, he is paranoid that they have come to take him back. We find out that Dr. Marco was ordered to research the creation of a Philosopher's Stone. Marco refuses to show Ed the research and asks them to leave. But, after, Marco finally decides to give the boys a little help and urges them to look for the truth within the truth. Marco returns home to find Lust waiting for him. The boys finally make it home, where they're chastised by Winry. Ed goes to visit their mother's grave, and we are reminded that the Elric's father left them and is still out there somewhere. By the time Ed returns, Armstrong has learnt about their past.
Oh, Edward Elrick! What an yielding love to try and bring your mother back to life! What a tremendous sacrifice to give up your arm in order to transmute your brother's disembodied soul!
Winry finishes the work on Ed, and he fixes Al. The boys leave, and the episode ends with Winry finding a screw that's most likely important. Although a slower episode in terms of action, we are privy to a little more exposition, both in relation to the Philosopher's Stone, Ishval, and the odd nature of the Elricks being part of the military so young. The theme I got from this seems to be the corruption of innocence. There's a few references both to Ed and Al's youth, only being children, and then references to the horror of war, what is expected from those that are in the military. I found Dr. Marco's mention of the truth within the truth interesting. We have previously met the truth, a being that also referred to itself as God, and the door that showed Ed the truth of human transmutation. Marco seems to know the truth behind the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, but refers to it as the devil's work. I said it last time and I'll say it again. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Ed's intentions are good, and he has had warnings, but they seem to be intent on following their path. What the episode lacks in action, it makes up for in Winry time. Although we know she is an engineer, this episode takes the time to show rather than tell. Winry is a great representative for young women. She's bold and strong-headed, taking an almost obsessive interest in automail. What I love about Winry as a character is that the show's almost two-dimensional take on her interests makes her all the more realistic. Those that tend towards being interested in things do so with a single-minded passion. Unlike representation we often see in Western TV shows, FMA just presents the character and doesn't feel the need to push the point that she's into engineering. She just is. The other element that makes her so wonderful is that, like her male counterparts, she's also flawed. Like all of us.